Go ahead.
Motivation to live.
Yes,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, mo need it.
to stay alive.
To stay alive.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Who again needs motivation here? Let's start from there.
Me, I need motivation
You know what?
as regarding person. Me, I need motivation as regarding, let's say, personal growth, personal development in general.
Okay, personal growth, personal development. Somebody needs
In general,
motivation to stay alive. Somebody needs motivation for self-development and growth.
I beg, no stay alive. I beg. There's nothing to motivate you to stay alive for. I beg.
Okay,
Just die.
who again needs motivation? Okay, so quickly, let me just hop in on that motivation. I will say what you need most importantly is not motivation, really. And you want to ask why. Because motivation comes with feelings, it comes with everything being all right. And when they are not, you become inactive, incapable, and demotivated, right? So, if I will put it the right way, I will say what you need is not motivation. Most importantly, I think you need to find a reason to live. For the person who want to stay alive, there should be a reason to live. And that same reason to live can be the reason you're willing to die for, as that's the way it works, right? So if there is one thing that you can die for, then that's the reason you are meant to be alive. Who are the people you want to help? What is one thing you want to achieve in this life before you die? And that might just be the one thing you have to stay your focus on. So, is there one thing that you're willing to live for? Is there one thing you want to do? Just one thing. AYB.
Yes.
What is that one thing?
I want to give birth.
You want to give birth.
And I have a good life for my children.
Does it matter if you marry before you give birth or you just to give birth?
Like it matters, it matters.
It
It matters that I
matters that
marry.
you get married, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's marriage, the question will be what is holding you back?
Um financial finances. Uh, I've not reached the stage yet. Financially, I'm not capable of marrying now and then.
Wèrè wo leléyìí?
Everything
Ṣé
wise said.
school wa ni bàbá ìtẹ̀ lọ báyìí?
Ṣé GNS English mo learn in school yìí ni?
Ṣé school wa ni bàbá ìlọ báyìí? Má máa sọ̀rọ̀ ń ta o.
Òyìnbó mo lọ kọ́ school yìí ni. Kì í pàṣẹ la lọ ń yà.
Okay. So you think you're not financially ready. Two, you
Yes.
think you are not at that stage yet.
Yes.
And what's your third reason?
Uh, that's all. That's just it.
Okay. Now, when you talk of you not being at that stage yet, apart from finances, what are the things you think you should have before you get married?
Well, maturity in like many aspects of my life, emotional maturity, and some other stuff. So I don't think I've reached that point yet.
Okay, for you to achieve that, I will encourage you to read books on emotional intelligence, read books on marriage, read books on parenting, and what else? Then find something to do to give you money.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, if that's basically all you want to do to live, I can bet that very soon, yeah, very soon, you discover it's not enough. You discover that's not even the most important thing you want to do. Because in the middle of everything we are trying to do to become, while family is primary, pivotal, and of great essence, it's not always all that we're meant for. And I think if there's anything you need to do is to find out your reason for existence. If I'll take it lightly, I would say there's nothing really serious about giving birth, but getting married. At your age, you actually can get married. Have you heard the concept from people who say uh, when you get married, every other thing fall in place? Like saying you receive favor, your status change, people respect you somehow, some way, and stuff like that. And then,
Remember,
many other things. So while that is not true, the truth remains that if that's just what you want to do, just to get married and have children, really, you don't need much. The struggles and everything you just have to go through it together. And so beyond getting married, you discover that having the right partner is even more important than the marriage itself. Because after you get married, you discover many other needs that you did not envisage. And that goes into the likes of being matured emotionally, like you said, and being matured in many other things. Can you lead yourself before we talk about you leading other people? Because as the father and as the husband of the house, they will expect you to give them direction, show them where to go, tell them what to do and what not to do. Stuff like that. And you can't just do that by age. You do that by exposure, you do that by reading, you do that by knowing God, knowing something beyond just yourself. So if it's going to be work, you are going to need to know somebody who can help you achieve your work, who can help you do it better. If it's business, you are going to need other people. So the thing I'm saying is beyond that, or let me put it this way, the marriage will just be one side of the whole equation. Because as much attention as you want to give them at home, you discover that if not more than that, you will have to give to them at work. If you are doing business, in fact, more than that, you have to give to that business for it to be successful. And then the kind of attention that is required in the house changes per time depending on the level you're in. There's a time it will just be you and your wife, and all your attention goes into if she's fine or not, if she's giving you what she's supposed to give you or not, if she's giving you food, if she's cooking, if you are able to give her the kind of life she wants and the likes. But a time comes that your attention is even shifted or divided between your spouse and your children. And that goes into the attention you give to every other provision you have to make: security, sense of purpose, sense of direction, and all of those things. So, as you've said, it's important to come to that place. And it's one reason I discourage people getting married by age. That is, you think because you are at exactly, or you are particular age, so you should get married. It doesn't really work that way because it goes beyond that. And one thing you can do to yourself is to make sure you're fully ready. And when I say fully ready, it doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It means in your mind, you're ready to take on the challenge. Even when you know what you are doing and when you don't know what you're doing, you're just ready to take up the challenge. So, two things you have to fix your maturity. You pray to God for guidance. You relate with people bigger than you, people that are in relationship before. You read books, watch videos and documentaries on everything marriage and parenting. Then, what actually keep the family going? Make enough money to make sure their needs are met. If you have the right partner, all that you make in the house will belong to everyone. Or if you get almost the right partner, then it can simply be said that, oh, yeah, it's your case, because everything comes back to you. And then you have to work everything out to make sure everybody is fine. And such a body can be heavy sometimes. So, like some of those comedians will say, I put it to you, hmm, that first of all, fix yourself. Fix yourself. But beyond that, at this level, I think you need to find yourself. Mm. You need to find yourself. Because in finding yourself is where you find your purpose. And finding yourself is where you know what you really want to do with your life. Because irrespective of how much love your children and your wife want to have for you, if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have something you're doing with your life, it's a matter of time before you become irritating to them. So that's what you need to find, your why for existence. When you know your why, you can easily attempt almost anything anyhow. That is, anyhow can actually work for you when you know your why. But if you don't know your why, irrespective of how you go about it, you're going to end up where you don't want, where you are not meant to be. So find your why of existence. Do you want to help people cure a particular disease? Do you want to create a product or a solution that help businesses do better? Do you want to build hospitals and clinics for the less privileged and villages where they don't have access to modern health? Do you want to make sure everybody in a particular locality have water? Do you want to make sure there's no poverty in certain people's life? Stuff like that. Those are the things that wake you up every day and make sure that you become great. And those are the things that give you a sense of purpose. That when your wife is coming in, she knows what is coming to help you with. Because eventually everything is going to go beyond boobs and bumps, right? It's going to go beyond sex and kisses. It's going to go into what are we doing here? With the kind of women we have today, I doubt if there's any of them that want to give birth to 5 children. So I'm saying that to let you know that there is a limit to the number of children you want to have or that you can have while you still bearing the sense of responsibility. Now, that being said, I'll drive you back to the importance of purpose. For me, I want to make sure I help people become whatever it is they want to become. So I can engage you for hours even for days, just to make sure that you know what you're supposed to do and you are doing what you're supposed to do. I help you in self-realization. That's my most important thing I want to do. Help people realize themselves. You know how powerful you are and you know what you're supposed to do, and then you go after it with everything you've got. Right? So either I do waterworks, either I do data analytics, either I do tech, anything at all, is still to make sure that I am helping some people to realize what they are capable of and then achieving it in the shortest time possible. And that is not even limited to individuals, that is extended to businesses and corporations. So when we create smart edge consulting and analytics, is to make sure we help businesses derive insights from their data. And when they do that, they can gain tremendous insight so that give them edge over their competitors and help them maximize their profit, gain operational efficiency, and become every good thing that they are meant to become. So when we do waterworks, we are helping people to make sure that they enjoy living in their homes. Water is running fine and it's a long lasting solution. Living comfortably, knowing fully well that your mind is at rest. If you have any problem, it has nothing to do with water. And that's what we do. And so every day when I think, I'm thinking of what's the next solution, what's the next thing we're supposed to be doing about water. And every time I'm thinking of smart edge, what is the next thing we're supposed to be doing? Presently, somebody is working with us on smart edge, and what we are doing is looking for funds, right? We already put a proposal together. It's going to get on a call with somebody today to discuss what we're supposed to do next. So we're always doing something to make sure something is going. So you have to go back to what is it exactly that you want to do for people. For as long as your dream and your goal is only about yourself, there is limit to there will be limit to your growth, there will be limit to your happiness, and there will be limit to your influence. Eventually, the self-satisfaction that you're looking for, you won't achieve it. If there's anything I've discovered, the best of the satisfaction you can get is always coming from doing something for people. So either you build them for that thing or you do it for free, so to speak. It always give you higher satisfaction than when everything you do is simply for yourself. So when you speak to people to help them find direction in their life, to help them know what they are supposed to do, to help them move from one level to another, to help them realize themselves, to help them do a business better, to help them take that exam, to help them go to that school, to help them invest in that business, to help them talk to the person they have not been talking to for a while. Their success give you more satisfaction than when you do everything by yourself, for yourself, to yourself, just to make sure you become the best of yourself. So the interesting fact is the best of yourself that you want to become is in helping other people become the best of themselves. So beyond marriage and children, you want to look at what is your ultimate goals. What is your reason? What is your why for existence? If you say you want to help people with having the best marriage, you cannot marry everybody, right? So the best way to do that would be to, after you have gotten your own marriage right, then you begin to teach people, exposing people to the best ways, best things to do. I don't know if you have noticed this thing in churches now. There are pastors that basically most of the things they do is telling people about marriages. When you see this in a guy, he's a good husband. When you see this, he's not a good wife. Some are on businesses. This is the kind of business you're supposed to do, and they even show you examples from the Bible. There are people who talks about leadership, tell you how to lead, how to help people become, how to help people grow, how you yourself can grow, how you can do things. There are people that talks about wealth. In every other way you can do it. There are people that talks about covenant. There are people that talks about spiritual growth. How you're supposed to break every curse in your family. How you're supposed to have power with God that you just say, this mountain be moved, and the mountain disappears. Stuff like that. So everybody eventually will have a niche. So beyond you having the best marriage you want to have, the first best family you want to have, you discover there is still a particular thing in your mind that you're seeking to achieve every time, every day. And that's what you need to look for at this point in time. Did that make any sense to you?
Yes, yes, sir. A lot of sense.
All right. So when you find that, you won't need motivation to live, because when you have a reason to live, what you'll be looking for is not motivation, is opportunity to express your reason for living. Have you seen somebody in danger looking for motivation to run from that danger? Like,
No.
like you standing by the roadside, suddenly you saw one trailer coming, and the trailer, the way it's coming, is clearing everybody, clearing all the car on the road, probably brake failure or whatever it is. But the way it's coming, you know there's no control. Will you be waiting for motivation for you to live where you are? I don't think so. Because either you like it or not, you will run. And that's to tell you that,
Yes.
and that's to tell you that you staying alive. In fact, let me put it this way: you did not run because you are looking for, because there is a motivation for you to run. You are running because there is a reason to run, and that reason is, first of all, you are not ready to die. Have you seen people who don't seem to have leg, who are crawling, and they see that kind of a scenario, and you still see them dragging, and they are running and they are moving, and you're like, so this person can move this fast? Yeah, it's because there is a reason for them to stay alive. And if they must stay alive, they must avoid such occurrence. So if you're looking for a motivation to live, it's simple to say you need to find a why to actually live. When you find your reason or your why to live, then the question will not be motivation. The question will be, what opportunity is available around me to do this? I hope that makes sense. Any question?
No questions. You handle it perfectly.
All right. So I should give you 1 month to find your reason for existence. Is that okay?
Yes, yes. That's okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So that means I will check up on you. You need to find out that in all of this thing that is happening, what is your purpose in life? What is it that you want to do? Something that if you do it, you'll be happy. It can take you looking back to when you were 8 years old, when you were 3 years old, when you were just looking to become something. That time you have not become aware of all these limitations and restrictions. It can be you uh, going to space, it can be you building the biggest business in the world. I don't know whatever the motivation is. Many times might not be as big as we are looking at it, or as we have imagined it. May eventually even start small. It might just be as little as you saying every day you just want to help one person. Either speak to one person, either give one person a single help. So it can be as simple as that. But I'd like you to go. So in the next 1 month, I'll check with you and find out if you have found your reason to leave. So, and before then, if you have your answer, please do let me know. So we'll go from there and know the kind of motivation you need from that point forward.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Somebody said you need motivation for personal growth and development. Is that right?
Blessing.
Where did it go?
I'm here with you. Sorry, I just had to reach out to my phone. I was on my phone.
Okay, so you need motivation for personal growth and development. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
What are you trying to achieve?
What did you say?
What are you trying to achieve?
Like career wise, some goals and many more.
Okay, career wise can be you becoming the best in what you do. And wanting to be best at what you do should be enough motivation. There is, please, somebody, give me your mic. All right. I was I was listening to somebody who was doing an interview, and she said when they want to hire people, one of the questions they ask is, what has kept you awake through the night because you are trying to solve it? What problem has kept you up all night because you're trying to solve it? Not because you have to deliver a project to somebody, uh, not because there is a work somebody gave you to do that you have to deliver, not because you have a deadline, not because there is an ultimatum, but what is it that you wanted to do so much that because of that thing being on your mind to solve, you stay up all night? And they say most of the time where you when you don't have something like that to say, they simply know that you're not self-motivated enough to work with them. And one may look at that and say, what has that got to do with you working with us or stuff like that? It is like that because if your reason is strong enough for whatever it is you are doing, it will be difficult for you to sleep. Blessing. Blessing.
Yes, yes.
Your mic. Thank you. Your reason for doing what you want to do is very important because I have to go back there. Okay, I want to be a public speaker. I want to make sure I help individuals and help businesses. And if I must be able to do it well, I must be the best in speaking, in storytelling. Because it's not enough to speak. It's important that the people you're speaking to hear you, they pay attention, and they understand what you say. Like somebody said, communication is not the problem, comprehension is the problem. It's one thing for you to speak from now to tomorrow. If people cannot understand it, people cannot align with what you're saying, then you are losing out on them or they are losing out on you, whichever way. But if you speak and people understand you, then you both will at the same time achieve your goal. And that's what you want to do. So, what then that means is if I want to be the best at public speaking, from time to time, I must listen to other public speakers. I must read books. I must take journals. I must write some things down. I must develop ideas as they come to mind. And most importantly, every opportunity I get to speak, I must speak until I get to that point where other people hear me and they feel like, oh, this guy is good at what he does. For your self development, the question would be to you that in your chosen area or career, chosen area of endeavor or career, who is the best there that you're looking up to? And the question goes into what are they doing to be this person that they are? If you, for instance, we take data analysis for instance, let's say you want to become the best data analyst around, and let's say you want to be the best data analyst with Excel, you want to be the best guy using Excel. You have to look at who is the guy that is doing impressive work using Excel. You check that guy out. What does he do? You read about him, you watch some of his videos, some of his projects, and you take some of the steps he takes. And then you do it again and again. Either you feel like it or not. And that's where discipline comes over motivation. Your motivation is highly emotion dependent. But discipline is saying either I feel like it or not, I have to do it. And it is with discipline that habits and behaviors are developed. So if you do it again and again, either motivated or not, but because you're disciplined, you do it, you show up every time, before you know it, it becomes an habit. When I started posting on LinkedIn every day, it actually was very difficult because sometimes I don't feel like, sometimes I just want to sleep. But with what is happening, with what I can see today now, any day I don't have my uh any day I don't have my content ready and I'm going to bed, something somewhere on my inside is pushing me back up to go and get my content ready. Even if I don't post it until night of the following day, but that content must be ready. It must have a frame. I may spend the next 1 hour editing and making sure that everything lines up well to make sure I don't waste words and I don't miss the point together and stuff like that. But every day, the next content must be ready. On days that content are not ready, the first thing I do the following morning is get the content ready. But what am I saying in essence is it has become so much of habit that I don't even have to write it again when I'm planning my day that this is what I want to do. It just happens automatically. Before I do so many things, it pops up in my mind. Check your content, I check it, is it ready? No, it's not ready. I do 1 or 2 editing, I go back to what I'm doing. So by the time it's night for the day, my content would have gone out. Because it first moved from motivation that I feel like pushing content, I should be pushing content. Then it moves to discipline where either I feel like pushing content or not, I must push it. Now it's becoming an habit that I don't have to force it again. Automatically, my mind go there, I do the editing, and then I push it. And that's the way it is. So to be the best you want to be in your career, in your self-development and whatever it is, the question will always first start from why? And why? And let me tell you this, your why must always go beyond money, anytime, any day. Because if it's based on money, there will always be a better way to make more money and faster money. And so, therefore, if there are better ways and faster ways to make better and faster money, you will not stay long enough to build your authority in a particular field before you move to another one. It simply means from time to time you find yourself jumping from one thing to another, jumping from one thing to another, and seemingly it will look to you that you're making money and you're the big boy and you're doing what you're supposed to do. But the thing is, you will never at any point in time be strong enough in any of those fields for you to be recognized where it matters in any of the field where you practice. So to be the best in your field, be it graphic design, be it farming, be it construction, be it medicine, be it programming, anything at all, be it speaking, anything at all, your motivation must go beyond money. And building that authority will take some time. And it means either money is coming in or not, you must stay there and make sure you build it. That's where people come from when they start looking for you. And let me tell you, when you build authority in a particular field and you are so good with it, most of the time, it will not first come by giving you money. It first come by attracting like-minded people. People who recognize and find, what's it called? Like-minded people who find sense in what you're doing, whom what you're doing seem to agree with, who are in sync with what you're doing, and they want to stay with you so that the things you do looks alike, and when you do it, you are kind of a motivation to them as much as maybe they want to be a motivation to you. But most of the time, they are coming to you because iron sharpens iron. They know that if they stay around you with the kind of thing you're doing, then they are more likely to be sustainable at what they are doing than staying close to somebody else. So that's the first level. When you start building authority, people begins to come to you. People do what you do. People a little lower than your level. People around your level. Then beyond, after that is when you begin to attract people who think you can do something for them. Usually in status and rank, most of the time those people will be above your cadre, right? But they're always coming to say, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? And that's when your money begins to come in. And a little above that is people not just reaching out to you, people start looking for your products. They start looking for your content. They start looking for your teachings. They start looking for your project, whatever it is. And as a result of that, you can start packaging them and selling them and making whatever it is you need to make. But really, you always have to go back to this thing that I'm doing. Why am I doing it? Why do I want to do it? To be the best in yourself, for self-development and career development, you have to look forward and look to it. Why am I doing this thing that I'm doing? And on top of that, is you having how you measure if you are growing or not, or not. There is a time where your growth become evident, but before then, for you to keep going, for you to know, for you to be able to keep going and receive daily motivation along the way, there must be a measurement for your growth. It can start from, say, reading a page of book every day, and you're reading it. At first, it becomes difficult. Or let me take a typical trajectory that this thing normally takes. When you are motivated, or let me say the first 2 3 days that you set out to start reading a page of a book every day, you discover that the first day you do it kind of easily, the second day, the third day. After the third day, the fourth, fifth, and the likes, it becomes difficult. You begin to have some other things you're supposed to do. This is where your discipline start to kick in. You know that irrespective of what you have to do, you still must do your one page every day. Then you come to a point where if you don't read a page every day, you begin to feel guilty. Aha. That point, it has become resonant with your body system that it must happen. Either you like it or not, either you feel like it or not, either you're busy or not, it must just happen. So at the end of every day, when you discover you have not read and you're on your bed, you begin to feel as though you are in trouble. This thing I'm supposed to do, I've not done. And then you come to a point where one page is no longer enough. It's not because you find a it's not because you are pushing yourself to read more, but because at this point it has become so resonant with your body system, with your brain, with your everything in you that reading more than one page is just the next thing to do. It becomes easy for you to read more than one page. And those are the basic things you do. So you can set up a calendar and mark it the day you are able to do the activity, the day you are unable to do it. Stuff like that. Sometimes the day you enter a new milestone, say suddenly it becomes easy for you to read 10 pages of a book a day. You decide to buy yourself ice cream. You continue like that. The day you finish a book in a day, take yourself out for lunch and eat something good. Stuff like that are the things that keep you going every day. Well, all of this is only useful when your why is in place. I don't want to be the best at public speaking because I want to help individuals and businesses realize their full potential. I want to help them become the best they can be. And you do whatever you need to do every day like that. So it becomes easy when you know why you are doing what you are doing compared to when you just want to do something that you don't know why you are doing it. Right? Exactly. So that's basically it. I don't want to use the scenario that is coming to mind, but that's just it. I hope that makes sense to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Any other questions, suggestions, addition, or subtraction? Any other? So basically, I think that should be it for today. And everything you do, knowing the why will always be more important than how. Mm. Just as direction will be more important than speed. Yeah. Thank you. That's it for today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.